do that, and because I was a little concerned. She said I did everything wrong. I had a fake ID. I was 19. I took the girls from Vanderbilt. She said we were the rich kids. Nobody was going to bother us. Went down to 2nd Avenue, which has gotten so popular now. Goes to a bar. Goes in, starts drinking with her girlfriends. Everything's going great. And she wants to get her lipstick. Left it in the car. One of the guys in the bar said, let me go with you. No. I parked right next door. On those service lots right there, about 2nd and Mumbrian. I'll go to my car. I'll be right back. Single girl goes out to her car, gets in her car, doesn't lock the door. She started telling me all the mistakes she made. Reaches down to get her lipstick out of the console and looks up and feels him next to her outside her door. She turns to lock the door. He pulls the door open and has a beer bottle in his hand and crushes the back of her skull and breaks the beer bottle. The beer bottle was broken. She tells me, as she's telling the story, she said, you know, I didn't feel the bottle. I didn't feel the pain. I knew he broke it. As I turned to try to get out of my car to fight him, he starts taking the bottle and jabbing my face with it. Now, when she tells me this, I start looking. I want to see. I can see a few scars here. She had 1,500 stitches. He tried to cut her throat. He cut her cheek where it kind of fell. She fought. She says, I must have fought hard because when they caught him that night in the mugshot, they did catch him. And when they caught him, by the way, he stole her car. He said, yeah, I killed her. He thought he killed her. There was no other provocation. He didn't know her. He was just looking for something, that insatiable appetite. He thought he'd killed her. When she woke up in the parking lot, car gone, her yellow shirt is now black from blood, and she goes back inside. So it was interesting, and she started telling me, she said, you know, it was denial. I was rich. I had a fake ID. I went to the car by myself. I didn't lock the doors. I thought I was invincible. He spent 10 years in prison. She lives in Green Hills. He's released. He now lives in Brentwood with his father. And just, they're around us everywhere. So she put herself in a bad spot as a single female going out to her car. Early morning hours, grocery store parking lots. A lot of moms in here that might be going to that. You know how they're primary places for sexual predators? Because there's no men around. Most of us got to go to the grocery shop. And so that's a viable place to nab someone. Long hair ponytails. As soon as I tell the girls, usually start pulling their hair up on top of their head. The reason that they go after that, and this is from sexual predators in prison, will tell you, well, we like long hair because we can control them. I'm not here to tell you to cut your hair off. What I'm here to tell you is that those are, as long as you know your adversary, and when we were in the service, we used to teach, if you know your enemy, then you can defeat him. So the key is, I know that the long hair could be something I have to deal with. By the way, we do teach how to get out of that grip. When we come back in February, Heather, Ms. Sonica, we'll talk about how to get out of the hair hole and how you can fight and defend yourself. Well, I like the elbow. I just saw an elbow down here. That was very nice. We'll talk about elbows later. Earbuds and cell phones themselves are self-explanatory. This is interesting. Only 2% of felons that do sexual, only 2% of the sexual predators that rape people use weapons. Only 2%. The other 98% don't use them. Now they may say, hey, I got a gun, I got a knife. If you don't come with me, I'm going to kill you. And you know why they don't use weapons? This is how smart these felons are. If I rape you and I don't have a weapon, I get 3 to 5 years max. If I have a weapon, 20 years to life. They know that. It's horrible, but they know that. And I'm going to show you something that we can do to defeat that. Fight for 1 to 2 minutes. These sexual predators in prison say, you know what, if we attack who we think's a soft target, you know, she's small, she's cute, she's my soft target, and she fights me for 1 to 2 minutes, you're not worth it. I'm going to get caught. I'm going to get caught. So you have that right, and that's what we're here to teach. You fight for 1 to 2 minutes, you're probably going to survive that. And that's what happened out poor Chelsea King that was killed in San Diego. Some woman was attacked. She fought him, got away from him because she wasn't worth it. He got away and then to kill someone else later. This is interesting right here. 85% of all handgun wounds are survivable. This is a plastic yellow gun. I proved it with the front office before I came in. Now let me tell you about handguns. Handguns, how many people in here have shot a pistol? Whether it be BB or anything like that, pistol. How many in here, if they raise their hand, know that pistols are hard to shoot accurately, to shoot bullseyes? Absolutely. They're very difficult to shoot. And here's what I do. I carry a weapon right now, still do, and I do it for the government, and I have to train every 6 months. I have to shoot. I've shot thousands of rounds. I'm pretty good. But when I shoot, it's not dark like this. The lights are up so I can see, and the farthest that my target is to that wall right there, 21 feet. I'm like this, and I shoot, and you know why it's only 21 feet? They want me to hit the target. That's the truth. So I'm telling you, handguns are not as destructible as you think. Hollywood, Xbox has made the handgun what I call the weapon of mass destruction. Everybody dies and you never reload. That's not true. Okay? And I can tell you right now, the guys that have been trained in this, if I see a perp doing this with a handgun like this, I guarantee he doesn't know how to shoot it. And I also heard from Kentucky law enforcement that 75% of most of the handguns on the street, the felons don't know how to use, or they have the wrong bullets in them, or they don't work. Now, Miss Heather, are you in there? Are you in here? Come on up. Okay. Now, we'll get into this in a second. I want to demonstrate something to you. When I come out as a felon, I don't want to get caught, right? Because I'm in a public area and I want it to be quiet. Oh yeah, can we turn the lights up? Oh, does it take 10 minutes to come on?
If you can turn some of that, the stage lights on, that would be great.
There we go, good. Thank you. We'll demonstrate this and I'll talk. Hey, you scream, I'm going to shoot.
No!
I'm shaking a little bit. I'm goosebumped up a little bit because that was pretty real. Now, I knew she was going to do that, but trust me, it got me off a little bit. She's not very big. She's fast. Okay? So here's the point I want to make. And this is real important to understand. The gun came out. If I had wanted to shoot her, if I was in a public area, I would have done this. Hey, you! Bang, bang, bang. But I wanted her. Does that make sense? I wanted her. So I used the gun to throw. That's part of my power. And the other power is, don't scream. Why do I want her to scream? Then we get caught. So I told her, don't scream or I'll shoot. And what she did, she screamed. Took half my power. And as soon as she screamed, he went, what? And then she knocked the gun away. And she's running. Now, I've got to make a split-second decision, and this is what I've learned from the studies that I've made with law enforcement, is I've got to make a decision. Do I shoot? I got nothing from her. I'm in a public area. I get another lamb. That one's no good to me. See where I'm going with this? 85% of handgun wounds are survivable. In law enforcement, what Judd will tell you from his service experience, after a firefight, the first thing you do is check me for blood. You see if I've been shot. You don't know. Adrenaline's up. You may have been shot and you don't even know it. I'm just telling you, I don't want to get shot, but I want to go. And I'm going to tell you why in a second. Bring the lights back in if you would. Thanks, Heather. Nice job. Let me explain something about this next one. 9 out of 10 times, this is historically, factually true from Los Angeles County. If I move you with a handgun to the locker room, to the car, to the cooler, to the bedroom, to my car, you will die that day, 93% of the time. That's not emotions involved in it. That's just factual stuff. If they want to rob me, I tell people all the time, hey, I want your keys, I want your car, and you got it. And I throw it on the ground. You can have it. Don't want it, I'll never lose my life over things. Ever. If the gun comes out, I want you, you can't go. You just can't. So it's important to understand that. So those are the decisions that I'm trying to make. I'm not law enforcement, so I'm not going to tell you something that I might come back and haunt me. I'm just telling you that I tell my family, my girls, my wife, all my friends, you can't go. You can't. And Heather made a pretty good demonstration. By the time I turned to shoot her, she was about 18 feet away. Chances are I never could hit her. 1 in 6 women, this is very interesting. In this country, 1 in 6 women will be sexually assaulted this year. 16 to 19-year-old, 4 times more likely. And those statistics are probably not accurate because there's probably a lot of kids in college who will not reveal that they've been sexually assaulted. Usually, well, I was drinking, it's my fault. I went out with you. No, I went partying with you, I thought it'd be okay. And this is what happens. Really important to understand that. Really important to understand the rights that you have as a young woman, and it's only going to get more difficult when you go off to college. This is my senior role, my first senior year. Okay, that's just real life. I'm not your daddy. I'm not an administrator. I'm not a cop. I'm just telling you what real life stuff is. Okay, so it's important to understand that.